In today's video, I'm going to show you why, as a Notion builder, you should be using wikis for your setup. They are very powerful and very helpful, especially if you have the Plus plan for Notion. Basically, if you are using Notion automations. So we're going to go ahead and just get started. So what is a Notion Wiki? Well, let's just add a new page here, create something new. We can call it whatever we want, but if you go to the three dots on the side and you click on Turn to Wiki, you get these prompts. And if you go through all of them, what it does is it changes it to be this view. If you notice, it says New Database. Basically, a wiki is a page and a database linked into one. That's how Notion promotes it, but it has even more functionality than that. Put it this way, if I make a page like this, and it's here, and I make another page, and we'll call it page 1 and page 2. They show up here. This is ideally what Notion wants you to use wikis as, and that's not the best way. Really, the best way you should use it is you do something like this. Add a database, it's a full page, and we'll call this an actions list. And what happens is in this database, or when it says new database, the wiki, the actions list shows up. And if you open the actions list, you can see these properties here. And you can add any properties that you want to this top panel. Some of them don't work, in particular buttons, but we can talk about that in a little bit later. This is where it becomes really powerful. Our databases can now be organized in its own database. So giving a practical setup, let me show what my compiled list wiki looks like. This is all of my databases all in one. So let's just go ahead and open up one of these lists. Instead of just having docs and then the different views, now what it does is there's the docs list here, and there's two properties that are added, main properties and other. If I click on this, here's the inbox, and you can see how many are actually just in the status from the list itself. That's what makes this incredibly powerful. The problem that happens often with myself is I don't even worry about the actual database itself. I would copy this, I would put this view into the main homepage, and then I would never think about the database again. And if I happen to get stuck on the database, I get more frustrated because I'm stuck here and I have to figure out a way to get out of there, or I just go back to the home page. Well, now I can see the inbox right here. I can see how many documents are open. I can add in any formula that I want to and see it clearly for the list that I need. I hope in the future, Notion can maybe find a way to make this more natural, where the wiki and the database is actually linked together, and you don't have to do any workarounds to make some of this magic happen. It's just integrated naturally into the program. This is not how they designed wikis or made them, but I think this use case is incredible. So how do you get these properties to come, and how do you get a toggle? Well, let's go through a new wiki and we will see. So here's a brand new wiki with two databases in it, a writing log and a folders list. To go over the basics of a wiki, you have these views here of home, pages I own, all pages. In the home page, you can add anything that you would like that is in a regular page. So if you do a database full page, if it shows up here, it will show up in the database views. You can actually edit these pages too. They don't just have to be tables. You can do any type of database view that you would like. This view works the exact same as a regular database. You can add properties with the plus button here, or in the properties area, you can delete properties here as well. You can add automations. You can add filters. To add properties on a database itself, you have to click open, find the three prongs, go to the very bottom, and then add property there. And you aren't restricted on properties that you can choose. When you open this page, this is how it will usually look like as the start of it. And I already have like the writing list connected to it and some different properties here. Well, if you wanted to change the top area properties, click on here, any of the properties up top, then customize layout. It'll bring you to this page, which will seem pretty confusing because it thinks you're in the database itself. Click on preview, and you can see the two databases here. And from here, you get to the property group view. You could add tabs, but they will only show on pages in a wiki, not databases in a wiki. So from here, when you click on properties and you add section, you can add any section that you want, main properties, and then we can say background. And then you can move them as you would like the background ones, we can put literally all of these, keep these up here, definitely completion, and the tag one. And when you hit apply, then you'll actually get two toggles that go up top. And from here, if you have any that are completed, you can make a formula to say that. To get something like that to work for the formula, you need something where you create a new automation, and anytime something is edited, we're going to make it for this database whenever something is edited. So if you make a brand new journal, call it today, or do it the Notion way, today. As soon as that happens, it goes into the writing log, which means it will be, here. And if you want to keep this there, great. You might actually want to move that to the background too, or just always hide, whatever your preference is. And then from here, make a new formula that's going to be writing a log list, filter, current status. We're going to keep it as done. And then we're going to do length. And in this case, we have it as 100%, which doesn't, because it would have been something like this. Divided by, take the same one, but this time take away. So 14.49% done. So you're able to show that in the main view itself. And as soon as you do more that are done, changes the percent, and you can see that directly on the list itself. So again, to do that, you would just need to make a new automation and make sure whenever the automation happens, it's linked to the wiki. You can see the write logs list here. And then you would just make a formula in the wiki itself to filter out anything that you want to show. And with a toggle, you can take away the properties if you want them to be hidden, or you can bring them back, which I think is really cool and useful too. As soon as you add a page here, so just a regular one, it's still going to keep the two up here. It's going to be a horizontal view instead of vertical for the presentation for your properties. Now, if you notice from here in the page itself, there's nothing that says that you can actually customize in this specific view. That's because in wikis, the only way you can get to that customization window is get a database in the wiki, then click on the property that is in that database view itself. Click customize layout. That's the only way you can get there. And then from there, we only have these two pages right now. But if you actually made the tabs and you made tabs like the writing logs list, sure. Then those tags will not come up here, as you can see, but they will come up in a page. That's one of the weird quirks, because technically the pages and the database pages are going to be different. And you can add these to the top, pinned here, but it will only show in pages. It will not show in databases. So something to be careful of there. So these buttons will not work for databases in a wiki, but they will work with pages in a wiki. Same thing with automations. Any automation that you do, it's not going to do anything to a database. They don't allow you to actually change database automations for any of these properties. So it will not work that way. It will only work with pages. So technically automations won't work in this context. It doesn't mean they won't work with the automations in general with the actual database. Remember, this is a database of databases. So it doesn't affect anything in the writings logs itself or the folders itself. It's like a top layer. I hope Notion can actually take this and build upon it, because it's, to me, probably the most powerful function that makes databases even more useful, instead of just put it all in a database and then make a database view for it. It makes it much more practical to do this. Now, I am developing a template using this system. I had something built and completely done, but sadly, Notion's duplicating wasn't working well with the system. So I'm gonna make it all from scratch. So it's gonna take a little bit longer to make this exactly the way that I want it to. So be on the lookout. This template will come out hopefully in the next month or two. It'll take some time to develop, especially with a 3-month-old that I need to take care of too. Be patient and let me know if there's anything specific you would like to see with that in mind. There are some cautions. Be sure when you are using wikis, you do be careful. Don't use them like databases. Don't put a whole bunch of entries into them. They are really meant for navigation and for databases in general. They are not really meant for collecting a whole bunch of actions. Matthias Frank made an excellent video showing some of the pitfalls and problems with wikis. Well, I disagree that you should ignore them completely, because there's way more powerful things that you can do with them that outweigh some of the cons, but you have to be strategic on how you use your wikis. With that, that's about it for this video. If you would like some more tutorials on how to go even further with wikis, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.